Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive question. How on earth are we going to feed the future? We'll be looking at how scientists are actually turning to this ancient, totally natural process to help solve one of humanity's biggest challenges. So, get this. By the year 2050, our planet is going to have to feed 9.7 billion people. Just let that number sink in. That's an incredible challenge for our entire global food system. All right, so let's get into it. The answer, it isn't just about planting more crops. Not at all. It's about completely rethinking how we produce our food, what we decide to put on our plates, and you're gonna like this, the role our very own kitchens can play in all of this. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the sheer scale of the global problem. Then, we'll explore this ancient but super powerful solution. We'll see how agriculture itself is changing, take a look at our own diets, and then bring it right back home to what you can start doing in your own kitchen, like right now. Okay, first things first. We need to get a really clear picture of the challenge ahead. The pressure on our food system, well, it's coming from every direction, and it is building up fast. To feed all those people, that 9.7 billion number, estimates say we're going to need a 60% increase in global food production. 60%. That is more than half of everything we produce today, on top of what we already do. But here's the thing. We can't just keep farming the same old way. We have these three massive hurdles. You've got climate change making harvests totally unpredictable with droughts and floods. Our current methods are putting a huge strain on the environment. And on top of all that, people like you and me are demanding healthier, more sustainable food. As we should. So with all these huge challenges, where do we even begin to look for answers? Well, it turns out one of the best and most effective solutions is an ancient one. It's something that's been in our kitchens for literally thousands of years. Fermentation. So what is it really? At its heart, fermentation is just the art of using these tiny living microorganisms to unlock the hidden potential in our food. It makes stuff like milk or vegetables easier to digest, and it packs them with this incredible character and life. And this quote, it absolutely nails it. See, this isn't just about preserving food so it lasts longer. No way. It's a process of enhancement, of revealing all these amazing flavors and nutrients that were just locked away inside. And this is the really cool part. Fermentation is basically a triple threat, but in the best way possible. First, it preserves food, which is a massive weapon against food waste. Second, it actually enhances nutrition, creating vitamins and good for your gut probiotics. And third, it creates entirely new and delicious foods. Think about it. Yogurt, cheese, kimchi, all thanks to fermentation. Okay, so let's zoom out from the fermentation jar and see how this kind of thinking is changing the bigger picture of agriculture. Because the innovation isn't just happening in the kitchen, it's happening out in the fields too. The farm of the future looks, well, completely different. We're seeing this rise in precision agriculture, where things like drones and sensors give crops the exact amount of water and nutrients they need. That cuts waste like crazy. You have vertical farms popping up in cities, growing produce all year round on just a fraction of the land. And organic farming is showing us that we can work with nature, not against it. But look, smarter farming is only half the battle. If we're really going to build a sustainable food system, that change has to follow the food all the way from the field to our forks. What we choose to eat is every bit as important as how it's grown. So what does that look like on our plates? This chart kind of breaks it down. The diet of the future is definitely plant forward. That means way more fruits and veggies and less meat, especially red meat. Just to give you an idea, producing a single kilogram of beef can take over 15,000 liters of water. And beyond that, it means focusing on foods grown locally and in season, cutting down on all that travel. All right, so we've talked about these huge global systems and big-scale farming. But now, let's bring this whole conversation right down to the most personal place there is, your kitchen. Because this is where the revolution can really start. Seriously, it can all begin with something as simple as pickling some vegetables in a jar with salty water. That's it. That's fermentation at its most basic. It's a super accessible way to not only save your food and cut down on waste, but to create these incredible, complex flavors that you just can't buy in a store. Or what about this? In just a few days, with nothing more than a jar and some water, you can literally awaken the life inside seeds and beans. You can grow these incredibly nutrient-dense sprouts from things like lentils or alfalfa. It's such a simple way to have fresh, living food right on your counter any time of year. And this is it's like magic. It's the art of giving a second life to stuff we'd normally just toss out. The little root ends of onions, celery, or lettuce, you can put them in a little water and they'll start to regrow. You're literally turning kitchen scraps into a new harvest. It's cheap, it's green, and it feels amazing to do. And you don't even need a backyard. You don't even need soil. Hydroponics sounds super high-tech, right? But all it means is growing plants in nutrient-rich water. There are simple kits now that make it possible to grow fresh herbs and lettuce right on your windowsill. It's like having a tiny, super productive garden right inside your kitchen. And that really is the biggest takeaway. These huge global problems have solutions that are right at our fingertips, solutions that are empowering for every single one of us. The future of food isn't just something that's going to happen to us, it's something we get to create. So the real question isn't just what we'll be eating in 2050, but what kind of food system we all choose to build, one meal at a time. So what's your first step going to be?